In 1825, an entire village went to sleep and never woke up. Not because they died, because one morning they were simply gone. Every single one of them, 1,500 people, vanished before sunrise. No bodies, no blood, no explanation, just silence. And a curse that has held for 200 years. This is Kuldhara. To understand what was lost, you have to understand who these people were. The Paliwals weren't just farmers scratching out a living in the desert. They were one of the most sophisticated communities in all of Rajasthan. Engineers, traders, scholars. Kuldhara was their crown jewel. Founded in 1291, over 500 years of continuous life, generations born, raised, buried in the same golden stone streets. The year is 1825. Salim Singh is the Diwan, the chief minister of Jaisalmer. He's powerful, ruthless, and used to getting what he wants. What he wants is the daughter of Kuldhara's village chief. He doesn't ask, he demands, and he backs it up with a threat. Agree, or I will tax your people until there is nothing left of you. Now here's where the story gets strange. The Paliwal elders didn't fight. They made a decision, a quiet, organized, collective decision. That night, one single night, every family in all 84 villages packed what they could carry. They coordinated across an entire region in darkness, in silence, with no modern communication, and sometime before dawn, they were gone. No one heard them leave. No neighboring village reported a column of thousands walking through the desert. No camp was ever found. No migration trail, no record. They dissolved into the Thar desert like they had never existed. But before they left, they spoke. The Paliwals cursed the land. They meant it as a final, absolute act. The curse was simple. No one will ever live here again. Whoever tries will suffer for it. And for 200 years, that curse has held. People have attempted to settle Kuldhara. Not once has it worked. Families report illness, livestock dying, unexplained noises, an overwhelming sense of being watched. They leave every time. The Archaeological Survey of India now owns the ruins. They maintain it. They allow tourists, but they do not allow anyone inside after sunset. That rule exists for a reason. Let's talk about what actually happens here, because the stories aren't vague. They're specific, consistent, across people who've never met each other. Visitors hear footsteps in empty rooms right next to them. They smell food cooking, spices, smoke from kitchens that haven't had a fire in 2 centuries. They hear children laughing, playing in a village with no children. One paranormal investigation team claimed to record voices that weren't there during filming. Another documented a woman being physically struck, shoved by something invisible while standing in the main street. I'm not here to tell you whether to believe any of that, but here's what I will say. The consistency is hard to dismiss. These aren't people sharing a story they heard. These are separate accounts from separate years describing the same things, the same rooms, the same sounds, the same feeling, that something is still here, watching whoever comes through its streets. Here's the thing that nobody talks about. Most haunted places are haunted by tragedy, by violence, by people who died badly and couldn't let go. Kuldhara isn't like that. The Paliwals didn't die here. They chose to leave with dignity,
on their own terms. The haunting, if that's what it is, isn't grief. It's something else. It's defiance. A people who were pushed to the edge of everything chose to vanish rather than surrender. And they made absolutely sure, that no one would ever erase what they built by simply moving in and replacing them. The curse wasn't about revenge. It was about memory. You cannot have this place. It is ours. It will always be ours. And 200 years later, standing in those empty streets, surrounded by the smell of a meal no one cooked, maybe they're right. Kuldhara still stands in the Thar desert. You can visit during daylight. Thousands do every year. But when the sun drops and that desert sky goes red, the ASI clears the site. Every guide, every tourist, every visitor, out. Because whatever's left behind in those streets after dark, no one is in a rush to find out. If this story got under your skin, there are places and stories that make Kuldhara look like a warm-up. Next one is darker. Subscribe. You'll want to be here for it.